Hello guys. So basically I'm starting with series on renal pathology. So first is this is introduction video. Nephrotic and nephritic syndrome both are very important and it is most confusing because we can see there are many different subtypes under this. Therefore it is always confusing like which belongs to nephrotic, which belongs to nephritic, plus each of this has different clinical features, different findings under normal microscopy or under electron microscopy, immunofluorescence. Everything has different findings. So before starting everything, first let us understand the basics, that is what is the difference between nephrotic and nephritic and how to learn it. In the end I'll be giving mnemonics to remember each of it so that we don't get confused between these two. So starting, first you must know this structure. This is the basics, okay? This is nothing but our filtration membrane. Here it is made up of glomerular basement membrane. This is our glomerular basement membrane, which is made up of type 4 collagen. This is podocyte and this is endothelium. Just remember, this is nothing but our capillaries. So capillaries ka lining is nothing but endothelium. This is our visceral epithelium. Therefore it is podocytes. Just if you understand, if you consider this as a tubule, okay? So here it is made up of parietal epithelium and here it is made up of visceral epithelium. So that is what I drew here, okay? So just remember, this is our glomerular basement membrane. So under glomerular basement membrane, you can see I did this, I have shaded this part. This is nothing but lamina densa. The dense part is lamina densa. This outer part is lamina rara externa and lamina rara interna. This is this. So basically these three components form the glomerular basement membrane, which is made up of type 4 collagen. And remember, the fluid, it flows like this and get filtered. And when I consider podocytes, it is made up of many different proteins and it has a complex structure which I'll teach later. But for now, just remember, here there is a protein called podocin and here there is a protein called nephrin. It is basically like this. Okay, so this two end is made up of podocin and this is nothing but nephrin. These two structure will form a narrow opening and this is called filtration slit. So fluid, it goes like this. This is our capillary which has fluid. It goes like this and gets filtered. This is podocytes. Again, andarka is endothelium. Remember that it's not like this, it's like this. Now coming to nephrotic and nephritic syndrome. Now why did I stress so much on podocytes is because when I consider nephrotic, first try to understand what is this, okay? Nephrotic syndrome has clinical presentation of hypoalbuminemia, edema, lipiduria and proteinuria. And when I consider proteinuria, it is more than 3.5 gram of protein per day. Whereas in nephritic, here also there is proteinuria, but it is less than 3.5 gram. And when I consider nephritic, the main features are hematuria, oliguria, hypertension and azotemia. Okay, and when I say lipiduria, remember lipid is increased both in serum as well as in urine, lipid has increased. Now coming to pathogenesis. Before that, I'll tell clinical features. Like patient may actually present with the history of, with the complaint of frothy urine. That is lot of bubbles in the urine. It is mainly because of protein. He can't say about fatty cast, but when we examine the urine, we can find fatty cast, which is also known as oval fat bodies. Okay, this is nothing but normal hyaline cast. So because of excessive loss of lipid, there is accumulation of lipid here. And this one under polarized microscope, it will give appearance of Maltese cross appearance. Okay, so remember, in nephrotic it is fatty cast and there is also hypercoagulable state and infection. This I'll explain in pathogenesis. Whereas in nephritic, the patient, he will complain of cola colored urine. This is mainly because of hematuria. There is cola colored urine, that is RBCs in the urine, plus here we can find RBC cast. Here it is fatty cast, here it is RBC cast or granular cast. And when we examine the urine, you can find dysmorphic urine, dysmorphic RBC, that is RBCs are of various shapes. Okay, this is the clinical features. These are the types. So this I'll be explaining later in detail. So now first let's study the pathogenesis. See, when I consider podocyte damage, okay, see, remember nephrotic otic is podocyte damage. So basically what happens because of damage of these podocytes, what will happen is there is loss of proteins. I told you more than 3.5 gram. Which and all protein we lose? We lose mainly albumin, since this is the main portion in our proteins. So first we lose albumin, I mean we lose loss of albumin, and we also lose a protein called ANP. So basically what happens is, we know that these proteins are albumin is used to maintain oncotic pressure. Because of decreased albumin there is decrease in oncotic pressure, therefore there is edema by increase in hydrostatic pressure. Similarly, ANP is the protein which is responsible for excretion of sodium and water. So it is responsible for excretion. Since now because of podocyte damage there is decrease in ANP, there is accumulation of sodium and water. Therefore it is very important to remember that here edema is mainly caused because of accumulation of sodium and water. Clear? Now again, see, when I say damage to podocyte, obviously it doesn't mean like only albumin is lost. Even there is loss of antithrombin 3, protein S and protein C. So this is, coming to our basic hemat. We know that these are responsible for, these are anticoagulants. That is, they prevent coagulation of blood. And there is even loss of immunoglobulins. So loss of immunoglobulins will cause infections, and loss of these two proteins can lead to deep vein thrombosis, or hypercoagulation or deep vein thrombosis or any other problem. See, if there is so much loss in our body also tries to compensate it by increased formation of lipids in liver. So in liver there is increased formation of lipid, therefore we can see lipiduria, that is increased lipid both in serum and urine, which forms fatty cast. Okay, this is pathogenesis of nephrotic syndrome. When I consider nephritic syndrome, this is simple. Nephritic syndrome, I for immune complex. Okay, so basically what happens here is, this is antigen. If there is antigen there will be formation of antibody in our body, therefore there is formation of immune complex. This immune complex activation will lead to activation of our complement system. When complement system activates, there is lot of influx of WBCs. Mainly there is inflammation, there is formation of glomerular nephritis, that is inflammation of glomerulus, which will lead to decrease in glomerular filtration rate. That is, now this glomerulus, this entire thing is not functioning. Okay, so basically because of decrease in glomerular filtration rate, there is hematuria, there is oliguria, there is hypertension, and there is azotemia. Now coming to how there is hematuria, this is mainly because of damage of endothelium. See, immune complex will damage this endothelium, because of which there is hematuria, that is loss of RBCs. You can see RBC in urine, okay, which gives red color to urine. Why there is oliguria? Obviously I told you just now that there is decrease in glomerular filtration rate. So oliguria is nothing but less than 400 ml of urine per day. Okay, so therefore there is oliguria. Now why there is hypertension? See, try to understand. Since there is decrease in glomerular filtration rate in kidney, if there is any abnormality, what will happen? We always studied na, RAS gets activated. Same, RAS gets activated, there is increased formation of aldosterone, which leads to increased blood pressure. Therefore we can see hypertension. Now why there is hypertension, why there is azotemia? Azotemia is nothing but increased blood urea nitrogen level. I have explained in one video in detail about acute kidney injury. Therefore whenever there is decreased glomerular filtration rate, there is always accumulation of urea, so blood urea nitrogen increases. Understood? Therefore this is a feature which is seen in nephritic, and this is the pathogenesis. Now coming to how to remember this. See, I have easy mnemonic. For nephrotic, remember O. O stands for one help. O stands for podocyte. O stands for O. If you find anything lame, just ignore it. This is how I remember. So when I say one help, you can see help. Okay, therefore you can remember all four features. Done. When I say O, podocyte, you can remember by name itself, O is podocyte. Therefore you can remember entire pathogenesis, what is happening. because in future you may get confused, like nephrotic is because of podocytes or immune complex mediated. So immediately now you understood it is because of podocyte. Now what is this OM? Just remember M, the anything which starts with M. Here you can see minimal change disease, membranous glomerulopathy. This all things come under nephrotic, because sometimes even this is confusing. So rest all falls under this. The one which starts with M comes here. Once again revising: one HELP, podocyte and OM. Done. Again, as I told here, nephritic I is for immune complex. So entire pathogenesis you understood. And the universal mnemonic to remember nephritic syndrome is HOHA. Like, this is not made by me. It is used in all medical colleges. Okay. HOHA: hematuria, oliguria, hypertension and azotemia. And I shows immune complex and entire pathogenesis. So this is it. This is just the brief introduction about nephrotic and nephritic. Just summarizing, see, this is a cross section. Okay, this is our epithelium. Okay, same, this is our epithelium, this is podocytes, this is endothelium. I have mentioned, see, this is endothelium, this is vasculature. I have drawn red color RBCs. So basically what happened when I divide this into two, and when I consider nephrotic and nephritic, try to understand. In nephrotic, just summarizing in 1 minute, when I consider nephrotic, podocyte damage. So these podocytes, this gets damaged. Okay, therefore there is loss of albumin, there is frothy urine, all the features, there is loss of immunoglobulin, everything can be seen. So this he may present with deep vein thrombosis or pulmonary embolism. Okay, so again, this one I told nephritic, which is immune complex mediated. So these are our immune complex, they go and accumulate here. Because of this, there is damage to this endothelium and there is loss of RBCs. Along with this, even WBC may be seen in urine. Therefore this leads to formation of hematuria. All the features. Since endothelium is damaged, there is decrease in glomerular filtration rate. This is our immune complex. There is hematuria, there is oliguria, and you can see even WBCs. Remember that. Now just few questions. These were like previously asked questions. One liners asked in NEET exam. Like, even I have explained in detail the clinical features also. So it will be useful for next exam too. So when I'm considering now which is associated with deep vein thrombosis, yeah, pulmonary embolism. I told you there is loss of antithrombin 3 and not only albumin but also protein C and S. Therefore nephrotic causes deep vein thrombosis. Inflammation is associated with, I told, immune complex. There is glomerular nephritis. Therefore this nephritic syndrome is associated with inflammation. Then one of the important question, patients present with history, I mean clinically they present with iron deficiency anemia or hypothyroidism. What is the cause? Since I told podocytes are damaged, not only loss of albumin, there is even loss of few proteins like transferrin, and there is loss of thyroxine binding globulin. So even loss of these proteins, loss of transferrin causes iron deficiency anemia, and loss of thyroxine binding globulin causes hypothyroidism. Now you know how to differentiate this from normal. So basically in normal, if there is iron deficiency anemia, when we give iron tablets or supplements, that is curable. Even hypothyroidism, by giving T3 T4 you can treat him. But here, even though if you give T3 T4, since there is damage here and there is loss of thyroxine binding globulin, you cannot treat him with T3 or T4. Last question is WBC or pyuria, that is WBC is in urine is seen in, I told you in this there is not only loss of RBC, there is even loss of WBCs. Therefore this is seen in nephritic syndrome. That's it. Thank you.